I'm Ashley.
I'm Lauren, and this is
Whispers in the Basement.
I don't even really know. I was like, the whole time you were saying that, I was like, what do I say?
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm like looking at my spikes right now, and they're like really small on that. So.
Oh, so do we need to like stop this and listen?
Nah, I'll just amplify them.
You're just going to wing it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
We'll make it work. It's no problem.
So sorry that our schedules have been...
Oh, it's been wacky.
Yeah.
Wacky tacky.
I was going to say quite shit, but wacky's better.
I was trying to think of a word that goes with shit, like shitty bitty. Shitey?
Booty.
Shitty booty is what our schedules have been.
It's accurate, honestly.
No, I was out of town last week.
And then
for our normal training. Oh my gosh. I was training.
You were training.
I was out of town for our normal recording time.
Which was quite unfortunate. To be fair, I wasn't even ready.
It's okay.
So I'm glad that we didn't record.
Yeah. And then this week's going to be just as bad with schedules.
Yeah, because I'm out of town.
Yeah. And then next week should be good.
Mm-hmm.
But next week is my birthday week.
Oh, we could do a little chit-chatty one. About, like, life lessons.
It's
or
your birthday. Fun. Yeah, like, what did you learn in the past? What will I be? 38? I'll be fucking 38 years old. What did you learn in the past 38 years, Ashley?
Yeah, it could be great. I love hearing your wisdom.
Okay, well, I mean, we can totally do that.
Yeah.
It'll just be, like, an easygoing one. A palate cleanser. Yeah.
Yeah, because Simply Mander did a video that was, like, things that I wish I would... had known in my 20s now that I'm in my 30s.
I saw that on Instagram.
A lot of them were good.
Yeah.
She's also, like, completely done a 180 in her life.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be next week then.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And everybody can tell me happy birthday in their head.
Also send her gifts. Just DM me if you want to know her address.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, because they really do have, like, a whole week's heads up.
For real. Like, I'll accept any... Backtrack. I will not accept anything. Don't be sending me flaming bags of poop.
Or the burnt biscuits that are covered in glitter.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
That would be mine. Well, thankfully we don't really have carpet in the areas that we would open that.
Yeah, a glitter bomb.
That would piss
confetti
me off.
bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to call it a Weebo. His name's Milo. It's
it's like
a robot vacuum or whatever.
Yeah, but you have the real one.
Yeah.
I have the off-brand.
What's it called?
The iRobot, the Roomba.
The Roomba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a real deal. He's a real pain in my ass sometimes, so he doesn't really like, they get caught under things and they don't charge completely.
They're kind of a pain in the ass, but then when you don't have them.
Dude, they are so good when they work, though.
Yes. Yeah, that it makes it worth it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I guess let's just jump right into it. I think this is going to be a shorter episode than what our last couple episodes have been, because I feel like our last episodes have been like an hour-ish.
I guess I don't even remember what the last one. Oh, the last one was me with the house on Haunted Hill.
Yeah, which was honestly wild.
Yeah.
And then naturally my phone was listening, so it gave me house on
Haunted Hill
stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, the vibes are not what I wanted.
This is too scary. Oh, but I do have to do a shout out real quick because you remember when you were talking about the clowns?
Yeah.
And I made that comment about Chelsea. We were talking about Chelsea's flight or fight. And she sent me a Snapchat the other day and was like, yeah, I must have skipped this episode, but I've been listening to it. And she had this like shit-eating grin on her face because she was like, if anything in a costume, fuck it. Nope. Fuck no. Nope. I was like, I knew that. See, I know you, man. I know you. And then I started sending her Instagram reels of clowns.
As you should.
Yeah. And she was like, this is not funny. It's not really. I know it's not.
No, but it's like me sending Mandy videos of midgets.
I've thought about doing that so many times. I come across them sometimes and I get so close to hitting that share button to her, but I know of other people that do it, and she hates when they do it, so I'm not going to do it.
I mean, I do it quite frequently. So.
Do you really? Okay, I'm going to start doing it then.
No, I do it.
I think it's
funny.
her DMs with midgets.
Yeah, it's hilarious because she always is just like, stop it. Yuck. Yeah. They're just like little mini pocket-sized humans.
I love them. But, you know.
I don't want to what is it? Infantile? Like, you know, whenever you, like, look at them and you don't think of them as adults.
Oh, yeah.
When they are infantile.
Yeah.
Wow, that word's not happening, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to do that.
They're like little Polly
cute.
Pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think of them as. Mighty Max and Polly Pocket. Shout out to anybody that remembers who Mighty Max is.
I don't think I know who Mighty Max is.
You wouldn't, because you're way young.
But I did love chewing on the Polly Pocket clothes.
Yeah, see, but your all's Polly Pockets were not my Polly Pockets.
Yeah, our Polly Pockets were way better because they were so chewy.
Well, and they were bigger because my generation learned that you can't give children small-ass toys. They will choke. They're a choking hazard.
Yeah.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have? But it's like those
Mattel.
Yes.
Thunk it.
Yeah, that's true. It's also like those button batteries that like kids are now dying from swallowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Or Tide Pods. I don't know. They just look so gosh darn delectable, right?
You know, I would have never thought about eating them until I don't really think about eating them, but knowing that people eat them, I'm like, I just don't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Something up there ain't braining for me.
No. Because I feel like Tide Pods are kind of like those. Do you remember the little oil balls?
Yes.
That would like
put
go
in
in
your bathtub?
Yeah. They're like the equivalent, but I never wanted to eat those.
No, I always wanted them to get like all the way down to the gooiness so that you could just like.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. I loved it.
I wonder if they still sell those. I'm going to have to get on Amazon later to see if they sell them.
If they do, let me know and I'll order some with you because those things were
nostalgic.
Yes, and they're just like they're sensory.
They really are. They are.
Okay, well, I guess let's just jump into it. Today, I'm going to be talking about some theories that have frequently been on my mind. I guess you would call them conspiracy theories, or are they the truth? Oh, you found them?
Yeah.
Her face immediately like lit up.
Oh my gosh.
Do they have like sense?
Girl, they get bougie. Look at them. Hell to the yeah.
Ooh, yeah. It only has one review though. That's kind of sketchy to me.
I don't give a shit. There's a ton in here that like oh no, those aren't.
You remind
those
me
are
of
pearls.
Seth because Seth doesn't immediately look at reviews either.
Nope.
But that's my biggest determining factor.
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. It's okay.
With this, you don't.
No, I know what they are. They're magical.
They're magical.
And they're going in my bathtub.
They're like an old person's worst nightmare, though, with making your bathtub slippery.
Oh my god, I should probably think about that.
I was thinking about that the other day.
Oy, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Valid point.
I was just thinking about that the other day because I like was super sore like after the gym, and I always use like one of my arms to like help get me up, and I was like, ooh, this could be risky.
Was it an intrusive thought of if I slip?
Yeah, I'm thinking slipping, hitting my ribs, my rib breaks, punctures a lung, and I have nobody there to.
Okay, I don't know how we go that far.
No, my brain takes it and goes, death.
Death and destruction.
That's basically it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. How hilarious. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but not.
Hit me with it.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about Chemtrails, not the song Chemtrails Over the Country Club by Lana Del Rey.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
It is a song. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I thought I cleared my throat plenty. We're going to talk about the raw milk propaganda and untested 5G wireless radio frequency radiation.
All right. I have 5G on my phone, so.
We have 5G everywhere. And then, you know, I support with my job,
the telecom
industry, which is like during COVID, the big push for 5G.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
It was the build out for 5G.
So it's kind of interesting to deep dive into it. Even though I can't say that I'm anti.
Well, because now
then I might get fired.
Yeah, you've got the education behind it, and it's a conspiracy theory. So.
But I also feel like conspiracy theories have a little bit of truth to them.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, sometimes.
I learned that off of Vanderpump Rules. You're welcome.
Okay. I know that you and I have kind of talked about chemtrails, but do you really know much about them?
I honestly did not until you told me. And then once you kind of told me, I was like, okay, that tracks. That makes sense.
So there's like two different, there's like chemtrails and then there's contrails. Contrails, I guess, are really what we were seeing in our childhood.
And these are like the trails from an airplane.
Yeah, like the emissions in an airplane.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to talk about...
the difference.
Yes, the difference.
Okay.
If you're outside at different times of the day, one can witness thin streams up high, and then they get a little wider as the day progresses. They will eventually settle at a low altitude. One other trait of chemtrails/hybrid clouds, chemicals mixed with real clouds, they will almost always have a repetitive pattern present. Natural clouds almost always have random shapes in 3D dimensional, wispy, poofy, tall storm clouds, etc. Mm-hmm. The hybrid cloud will show up as a large flat sheet or a large flat spiral that resembles the Milky Way galaxy.
Okay.
The individual clouds will be close to the same size and shape. They will also be equidistant from each other, so like equal distance from each other.
It looks like a trail.
Yes.
Like you could tell it came from something. It's not a normal cloud.
Yeah, so like I think the ones that are all just like one line, those are contrails.
Okay. But we see two lines now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, okay, so I'm thinking of like the two lines that are like a consistent trail. Those are contrails. The ones that have like the breakups in them.
Oh.
Are chemtrails.
I guess I've never really like paid that close of attention to them.
Okay, well now you're going to be looking at the sky.
I absolutely am. Yeah.
You'll be like driving to work, swiping, swerving off the road.
Another intrusive thought.
Yeah, honestly. But sometimes when you're driving down 22 and you accidentally like kind of swerve and hit the gravel, that's so startling to me.
No, it's very scary because it's not an easy drop off. It's like a dead
it's like
you just dropped off the side of the fucking road.
Also super embarrassing when you have somebody else behind you.
And trying to get back on is also very... it's not like you can immediately get back on. You have to drive down the gravel a little more and then kind of come back on.
Yeah, agreed.
Ugh, okay.
Natural clouds are too random to form these shapes and patterns. People are connecting chemtrails to geoengineering and cloud seeding, and stating that the chemtrails are actually aerosol metal particulate used to manipulate the upper atmosphere and modify the climate. Spain did come out stating that they were manipulating the climate, but they took it back after immense backlash, which naturally, because people would freak out that people are...
But we know they do that.
Correct.
They did that in Korea.
Okay, sure, but we know that they do that.
Or Vietnam, not Korea. It was Vietnam.
But you know that if you were to tell this to your average person, they wouldn't believe it. It's kind of like John not thinking that like sex trafficking is as real or of a threat as it is. You know, it's like people just don't want to believe that somebody could actually do that.
Yeah.
You know, even though there's like...
Yeah, I'm just like, yes.
Truth to it.
I think you just want to live in... I'm not saying this for everybody. Like, I think maybe people just want to live in that state of like, the world is not that bad of a place to live.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Not all chemtrails are not all contrails are chemtrails. The main theories behind the negative effects are that chemtrails pollute our environment with heavy metals. This is where I feel like heavy metal detoxes have really become a big thing, especially in the crunchy space.
Yeah.
Natural foods that you can add to your diet that will help detox heavy metal is cilantro, garlic, lemon water, spirulina, chlorella, and barley grass. You would hate the cilantro.
I was going to say, I'm not touching the cilantro.
Honestly, the spirulina and chlorella, I can't.
It's like drinking pond water.
It is.
We tried.
We did try.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
The other main belief behind this theory is that the government or the top elite are messing with the climate. There is lots of money in the climate change movement, so... I don't know. My brain is just thinking, like, could altering the climate help get more funding to further their ideas?
Could it? I'm looking at you right now. Do you think it could?
I think so.
Absolutely, because what's a top trend right now?
Climate change. And I mean, it's like one of the biggest debates that we have.
It is. But my whole, like, I'm not saying that climate change isn't real. I agree. 100% is.
Yeah.
But the Earth naturally goes through its own type of climate change. It always has. Mm-hmm. I think that what we're putting out into the atmosphere is it's amplifying it. It's making it that much worse.
Yeah, and really, I don't even think that it's your average human blueprint. It's the
large
corporations,
the industrial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that are ruining it.
Yep. Correct.
But, you know, it's just frustrating, I think, especially with the whole climate change, because you see from, like, as an average citizen, all of these measures that, oh, this is what you should be doing to, we're banning all your plastic bags, but are you telling Tyson that they can't be emitting so many, like, gases?
Well, it's also really strange, too, how, like, some places are more, like, pro than others. Like, we live in middle of America.
Yeah.
Like, I still get plastic bags.
Yeah.
There's no place within a, you know, maybe a 30-mile radius that you could charge your EV car at.
Yeah, that's true. I think we only have one charging station in our whole town.
Yeah, so
which isn't much, but
no, it's not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No.
It's just very hard, I think, from our perspective, too, to have them push for it when we don't see a change on our side.
So then another thing that my father-in-law was telling me about was how, you know, all of these companies will say that they're lessening their footprint.
Mm-hmm.
So he was telling me that one of the tactics that they use is that they will actually buy up land to have
more
empty land that doesn't have
anything on it.
Yeah.
So it makes it look like they've got all this land.
And they're not.
It just affects their footprint percentage. Yeah.
Which
that makes sense.
That's fucked up, honestly.
It is, but it's a large corporation and they will do anything they can to get around it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just kind of, it goes with the whole, to me, it goes with the whole, like, greenwashing thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you can go to the store and you see all of these, like, big words, like the organic stuff, which I think to a degree, like, organic is sometimes better.
Right.
But also, I don't know if I feel like the organic processed food is actually...
You don't know if it's really organic.
Right.
That's like, you're paying for a word, essentially.
And what is your standard of organic?
Yeah, because my standard is, it's like, it's, you know, it's like when you kill a deer and you get the deer, that's organic to me. Or the tomatoes I grow in my garden, that's organic to me. You don't know what takes place, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think another thing that's really hard with the whole trying to live a more organic lifestyle is how much more expensive it is. You know, there are people here that locally are looking for organic chicken eggs, which that's great, but it's almost impossible, not completely impossible, but it's like pretty hard to find all organic chicken feed.
Mm-hmm.
And for certain things to even be considered organic, you can't have any neighbors spraying pesticides within a certain radius foot. Like, you know, the company Vital, like the Vital Egg Company or whatever, they have a farm near my in-laws' farm, and they have all of this big fencing around it, and all over the fencing there are signs that say that like pesticides cannot be used within a certain like foot radius. So I mean, it just goes to say, like, how far, or what is your opinion of organic?
Correct. Yeah.
So
you're right.
I don't know. That's
a whole, like, that in itself is a whole rabbit hole, because you've got that, like, the climate change, organic food, but nobody ever talks about the nutrients that get depleted from the soil.
Oh, yeah.
With our farmers, and how many more harvests do we really have out of the soil that's currently out there right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like a lot of the small farmers that are trying to get back into the regenerative farming and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. That Roots and Refuge page, she talks a lot about regenerative farming.
Yeah, and it's a scary thought to think about, you know? I don't know. It's just a whole big...
Yeah. Well, and then just even think about how, as a country, we don't really eat seasonally. We have...
It's always available.
Yeah.
I thought about that the other day, because it might have been more like around Christmas time, because the boys from church, they brought home oranges, and they didn't understand, like, why an orange. Back in the day, you used to not be able to get oranges until the summertime. And so that was a huge deal at Christmas time when you got an orange, because it wasn't available. You couldn't just go to the store and buy it like you can now. So, yeah, It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
I think, you're finding, especially because we live in such a, I don't know, it's not really a food desert, but we aren't close to really big cities that have all of these up and coming new fruits and vegetables and stuff.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that the stuff that we see on Instagram from influencers or just even like food creators in big cities, how we'll end up seeing these products like 2 years later.
Oh,
basically.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think those sumo citrus, I remember, I don't know, some girl that does yoga, she talked about it years ago. And then finally we went to a Whole Foods like a year later, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are those oranges that I've seen all over.
But they were so good.
They're so good. Our Walmart now has a version of them that I got. I'll bring you one later because I have them. But
good. Because they're the bomb.
They're so good.
They really are.
I had Seth get some whenever I was visiting him last week, and he's now bought his second bag because they're so good.
They really are.
Yeah.
They're the bomb.
They're like the perfect, like, sweet and tangy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the cotton candy grapes first came out?
Yeah, they were like all the rave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were so good.
Or those pine berry strawberries. I'd be looking for those.
I have never had those.
Okay,
I've seen them, but I've never bought one.
Were not that great.
Oh, okay.
But I did just plant some in my little grower thing at home. So we'll see. We'll see if they turn out and are good.
Yeah. I was going to say something also in regards to what you said about the big corporations buying more land just to make their footprint look different. There's always a loophole.
Always.
You've seen that in all of these shows and documentaries that they have been putting out on Big Pharma. Mm-hmm. Like Oxy.
Yeah.
Whenever that was published, whenever that drug hit the market, it came out as non-addictive.
And now
not true, but there was like a loophole in the wording, and that's what made it that's how they were able to get the FDA to approve it and put it out there on the market. And now look at where we're at.
I know. I also think another thing that goes into with that is the GLP-1 medications right now that are coming out, the weight loss shots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so new. And I think whenever they first came to the market, everybody was so scared. But now you almost know like one or two people that are on it. And so then it's now become so normalized that people are not considering the side effects, which are, I mean, if you go just to any of the manufacturer websites.
They're bad.
Yeah, like thyroid tumors are a huge one.
And I know you have like side effects with any drug, but I think what made these different was, you're right, when they first hit the market, everybody was very scared. Kind of like the COVID vaccination. Everybody was scared. Mm-hmm. But what happened to normalize it?
It's like that herd mentality.
We started seeing celebrities do it too.
Also true.
And then it was like put out there in social media, and then it makes society feel more comfortable with it, and then they're like, oh, okay, well, I'll go do it then because this person also did it. So it has to be, it has to be safe.
Which I'm not judging anybody who does it, but it's just one of those that
But that's just the way the drug industry works.
Yeah, I think also it goes great with advertising because
on anything.
Yeah, you're seeing real life people do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, another example that's not even like medication is like the trends of whatever food. Like right now, Swedish candy is really big on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and people are paying like $60 for these bags of just like random assortment of Swedish candy.
You know what? Avocados went through the same thing though, because they've had avocado. I mean, we've had avocados since I could remember.
Yeah, I remember in like 5th grade, my mom made guacamole for me to take.
And we never. I was never like, oh my gosh, I love avocados. It wasn't until it became a what's that food called? Like chia seeds. They are, what's that called?
I don't know where you're going.
A superfood.
Oh,
they became a superfood that
okay.
everybody was like,
going with chia pets, and I was like, I don't know where you're going with avocado.
That it was like, oh my gosh, this is a superfood. It's so good for you, and it is.
It is.
It's just we've had it for so long that nobody, and now it's so highly, recommended and put out there on everything. Social media. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I know.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. Wow, I really thought this was going to be a shorter episode.
That has nothing to do with the trails, though.
No, it doesn't. I just think it opens up into good conversation,
But the trails, they cannot be good for the atmosphere at all.
No, I mean, what regulations are really being put on
can we also
emissions?
I was going to say, airplanes. Can we talk? Yes, because can we talk about this? They have, it's for so long it was you have to buy, Teslas, the battery operated vehicles. But where's the battery operated airplane? I know they have to put in more emissions into the atmosphere than what a car does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And I do believe in seeding.
Oh, absolutely.
I do think we have done that. Yes,
yeah, 100%. I completely agree. Yes. All right, well, I guess let's move on to the raw milk debate.
Okay.
Big Dairy spent over $7 million last year lobbying. Is raw milk dangerous, or does Big Dairy and Big Pharma just use it as leverage to keep their pockets full?
Oh, I don't know.
We're now in a time where raw milk is growing more and more popular. We live in an area near the Amish, like an Amish community, not all Amish, like we just have a community near us.
Right.
Where raw milk is consumed, I would assume almost daily, because most of the Amish have their own dairy cows and...
yeah, they don't pasteurize, so...
No. Well, because they don't have electricity. Mm. They're the true off-grid livers.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
I have a friend who grew up drinking it. She grew up in a branch off of the Amish, but wasn't the Amish. It's an old Dutch German.
Mm-hmm.
And she still to this day buys gallons of it weekly for her family to drink. The first time that I tried raw milk was at Bible study. Mary also drinks it. Mm-hmm. And I, had seen all of the crunchy moms I follow on social media talk about how great it is and how there are more nutrients and vitamins in raw milk versus pasteurized milk. And I'm just going to say, raw milk, it tastes like what milk should taste like.
I guess I've never had raw milk.
Yeah, you've just had the raw cream that
and we made butter out of it.
Yeah.
We used to have a milkman. There used to be a dairy outside of... I don't remember where it was at. Armstrong, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And it got hit by the tornado whenever one of them came through. But we used to have a milkman that showed up and would leave glass milk. Actually, he walked into my mom's house and just left it in the fridge all the time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I really don't remember what that milk tastes like versus the milk that we drink now from the store. I am not a huge milk fan.
No, it's not like Yeah, I know. I'm not just chugging milk.
No. But I was burnt on it because somebody had told me at one time that the FDA allows a certain percentage of blood and pus to go into the milk because the udders get cracked and they bleed. And then from then on out, it was every time I would drink a glass of milk, all I could envision was myself just drinking pus. And after that, I was like, nope, not drinking this anymore.
That makes sense.
So I will drink it with if I have a Little Debbie snack cake or Oreos.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not just an avid everyday milk drinker.
No. Mm-mm. I think it's interesting though that how we, even just growing up, milk I feel used to be such a big part of our lives. I remember my dad and little brother would go through 4 gallons a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now it's just people just don't drink it.
My grandpa every day at dinner always had a full glass of milk, and he drank whole milk. Mm-hmm. He did not drink any other kind of milk. But, I was also listening to something one time that was talking about people that are lactose intolerant and how that's not a normal thing.
Uh-huh.
But it should be, because we are not made to drink milk of other mammals. So people that are able to drink milk, it's actually that actually back in the day used to be kind of odd versus those that can't now. But maybe it does go back to, maybe it is some of the stuff that we put in the milk. I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm going to actually talk about that. So raw milk doesn't putrefy, just pasteurized milk does, because it's a biochemical composition that has already been altered. It only sours, but it's perfectly fine to drink. So I think the shelf-ish life of raw milk before it starts to get kind of sour is a week. So, if you have kids that are drinking it a gallon, you could probably go through it, and then you could turn it into things like yogurt, sour cream. If you ever read old cookbooks, especially like ones that specify in baking, it will include an ingredient that is unfamiliar to many people, which is sour milk, which is what I would assume is like not really buttermilk, but you know, if you were to do like lemon juice with milk or something, because I think buttermilk is also kind of like sour.
I'm trying to
it's
think.
Like
I would know. I don't see. I think so, but I would never just drink it on its own because I don't. So I don't know. I use it in baking.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that I would ever use buttermilk in baking.
Oh, I have.
Or in
just like
drinking.
to drink it. Yeah,
yeah, that's
it's
what
too.
I meant.
It's too thick for me, but I would assume so is raw milk. So
raw milk is pretty thick.
yeah, I don't like. It's like drinking cream to me. That's like what whole milk tastes like. It's like drinking cream, and it's weird.
Yeah, 2% is usually like my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, many people intentionally sour it because the concept is that it provides more health benefits and also gives you more energy with the bacteria having pre-digested the milk during the aging process. Raw milk contains multiple redundant systems of bioactive components that reduce or eliminate populations of pathogenic bacteria. There are many testimonies of people who have issues digesting pasteurized milk products, stating that they have no issues digesting the raw milk.
Just like I just,
just like you just said.
Yeah.
If you ever end up on the anti-raw milk side of TikTok, you will have food scientists warning you against the evils and possibilities of getting sick from drinking raw milk. There's a PowerPoint presentation that talks about the benefits of raw milk versus pasteurized milk on realmilk.com. I said milk so many times. And it also shows foods that have had foodborne illness outbreaks versus raw milk. Personally, the fear-mongering of raw milk is overhyped to me whenever you look at the actual numbers of how many instances have been connected to ingesting raw milk. Obviously, I wouldn't just go buy raw milk from any Joe Schmo, but I would buy it from a farm that has good hygiene. This kind of goes back to the whole, infected teats with the amount of pus.
Yeah.
But if I could, know that the farm practices good hygiene and immediately puts the milk into the cooler, because that's whenever you have your greatest chance of
bacteria growing
when they're not properly cooling it.
Yeah.
I guess another random add-on is that this isn't really just about cow's milk. Goat's milk is having a moment right now too.
That it's popular?
Yeah, because it's so much easier to digest.
Well, yeah. So Aaron grew up on goat's milk.
Really?
When he was a baby. Yeah, because his mom either couldn't produce milk or something had happened. But and I always thought that was so weird. He told me that and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because that's closer to human milk than anything else. And so that's why they used goat's milk.
Yeah, I don't even think I really realized that kids drink goat's milk until I did that goat soap class, and the lady Meg that lives down the street, her youngest son was having reactions to cow's milk, and so she buys goat milk at the store, and now she's hooked up with the raw milk lady.
Yeah.
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 Crazy.
Yeah. I never knew it was a thing either until Aaron, and then
You would not like goat's milk, I feel like, though.
I don't like goat's cheese.
You don't even like goat's cheese.
No. It tastes like dirty.
I love it. It's so good.
I was going to say it tastes like dirty feet, but I don't know what dirty feet taste like.
I thought you were going to say butthole, so.
I don't know what that tastes like either, but it just tastes dirty. It's just got a weird taste to it, and I don't like it. I can't get down on it. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I always am that person, though, where I'm like, sure, you don't like it, but you've just never had it in a way that makes you like it. And you're like, no,
and I
actually don't like it, Lauren.
Yeah, it's like cilantro. You kept thinking that about cilantro.
No,
and I was
literally,
no,
I forced cilantro on you for years.
Yeah, it's a genetic thing. It tastes like fucking soap to me. So the one thing I wanted to say about the raw milk thing, it is very interesting that they do studies on that versus the sicknesses that are derived from people that eat meat. That's also got
or fucking lettuce.
Yeah.
I mean, how many listeria outbreaks have we had about lettuce?
Correct. Yeah. And they've done recalls and shit.
They don't tell us to never eat lettuce again.
No.
No. I don't know.
You're right.
That's just where my brain automatically is I don't feel like the amount of foodborne illnesses have. I feel like if you're getting sick from drinking raw milk, it's because you're, one, not probably using a sanitary
Yeah.
farm.
Yeah.
And the cooling process was that it didn't get cool fast enough.
Yeah.
Because it has to reach a certain like temperature within 40 minutes after milking.
I mean, before we had pasteurization, people lived off of it, so.
Absolutely. And there's a micro dairy that I follow on Instagram, and she has like they make gelato, but they also sell milk, but they pasteurize the milk that they sell, but they drink just raw milk themselves.
Yeah.
But because there's so many stipulations behind selling raw milk.
Oh yeah, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. All right. So moving on to the concerns of 5Gs. I am just going to read a little copy and paste thing that I stole from Reddit that talks about the concerns of 5Gs. Mm-hmm. A lot of this was over my head, but I did want to talk about it.
Okay.
Just because it's such it's like a new thing.
Okay.
5G, the latest method of faster wireless transmission technology, is being aggressively implemented worldwide as a public utility service, when it actually is a military-based technology that is being weaponized for surveillance and population control. Wireless carriers are setting up millions of towers across the United States, which are needed to facilitate the faster speed 5G connectivity will feature. A few of the corporations involved include Samsung, Intel, Qualcomm, Nokia, Ericsson, ZTE. This is a global operation, and many governments are backing the push. 5G will make use of a type of coding called OFDM, a method of coding or encoding digital data on multiple carrier frequencies, and is likely to rely on a network of cells as small as household routers, faster than like unusual towers, and they're radiating over large distances. But because 5G uses a much shorter wavelength, transmitters have to be erected like every 500 feet. This means that such transmitters will basically appear everywhere, which I think we've seen.
So you're saying towers?
Like towers, and then like the things that sometimes go in the boxes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Which means that we will be exposed to more of an EMF zone continually, and we're unable to escape the effects. Multiple studies have confirmed a link between EMFs and cancer, diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune disorders, and other chronic debilitating diseases. This is serious, especially when you're considering that at least 50% of the U.S. adult population now has one chronic debilitating disease, while some have multiple. Further on this post, there's a user who provides all kinds of links to show findings that radiation from cell phones, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth is basically affecting our brains, like making us have shorter attention spans, makes us more anxious and less fertile. 5G just amplifies the damage being already done. This has been well known by our government since the 1960s. I'm not a 5G is going to kill every one person, but all of the radiation can't be good for us at all. The government has released papers about the panic and anxiety induction at certain frequencies. Our bodies were not meant to be pummeled with EMF like this. Our bodies run on electricity and energy, and blasting frequencies into it all day has to have a major effect. Do I think that we'll ever find out the real effects that 5G has on us? No, but I do think that in like 100 years, people will be like, oh, wow, yeah, there were like real ramifications for having all of that.
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to, I don't know. Because, when you're pregnant, at least, I don't know if it's still a thing, but it used to be a thing like, don't stand in front of the microwave. Mm-hmm. That's a form of radiation. Don't stand in front of the microwave when you're pregnant. You've got people that throw fits about the smart meters that go on the outside of your house.
Oh, yeah, that was a big thing here.
It causes tinnitus or whatever.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do it. They will let you keep the old meter, but you have a price to pay for that. You have a fee that you have to pay every month on top of your regular bill. But you know, it's just like when that grain belt started to come through and everybody was pissed about that because it puts off, the electricity itself puts off a certain type of radiation within a certain amount of miles.
Right.
But it's just like everything we encounter every day.
Yeah.
Shampoo, the air you breathe, the food you eat, the water you drink, like the medications that we take. There is nothing that's safe in this world. The clothes that go on your body.
Yeah.
The female things that you use during your time of the month. You know, there's just it's in everything.
Yeah.
So to get so hyped up and mad about the 5G thing, it's like you would have to get mad about absolutely everything. And is there any place in this world that you can live where those things aren't going to impact you? No. I don't think so.
Not unless you have like the means to create your own little environment.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know.
I don't know. I do see your point.
Because everything's out there.
Yeah, I try to just live with the mindset of, you can't live a completely toxin-free life, but you can. You have to pick what's important to you.
Yes, live as healthy as you can.
Absolutely,
as you can. Yeah. But the other thing that I was gonna comment on was that the attention span thing. I don't think that's 5G.
Well, I think it's a lot of our apps.
I think it's social media.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are so used to right now, like, I don't know how many nights I get stuck in reels. And it's just like, there may be times where I spend 2 seconds on a reel and then I'm flipping to the next thing. Yeah. That, I think, has totally fucked with our attention span.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think.
Yeah.
You know, but shockingly enough, I'm going to tell you this story that my mom told me. She had read a study that was talking about, we were talking about how the ages change, and the ages have been changing for when you start to get a mammogram. So it used to be 36. It's now 40.
I know, which is crazy.
And then I think to get your colon checked, it's like 50 maybe. But my mom was saying that, you know, I was like, it's just really unfortunate that they just keep pushing back the age range. I get why they do it, but then I also don't get why they do it.
Right, because I feel like we're having more cancer.
But my mom was like, they really need to pull that colon cancer check sooner. Like, it needs to happen sooner in your life, because there was a study that was done that said that they were starting to see colon cancer in younger patients nowadays because they would sit on the toilet for hours and just scroll on their phones. Yeah. And that pressure of sitting on the toilet for so long and not actually using the bathroom, just sitting there on your phone, is not good on your colon. And so it was causing colon issues and colon cancer. So it's just stuff like that too.
Yeah, that and the lack of fiber in our diets, because we eat so much processed food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been on the colon cancer side of Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a lot of it goes right back to our our diet and just the lack of water that we're drinking, exercise, all of that. It's so
you
bad
remember
for you.
that show that was on Netflix? It was the Blue.
Oh, the Blue Zones.
The Blue Zones. Those people eat they eat pasta.
Yeah, but
it's like homemade.
Yeah.
It's not processed. And I really do think that a lot of it has to do with just our environments and the food that we have available to us. And
well, and another thing is, I think, just how active.
Yes.
And, because a lot of other countries, they have more accessibility to walk to their destinations when America is not set up like that. New York is.
Yeah, some places are.
Here's not. No. Not even like LA. I mean, the more East Coast cities have it, but the more you get across the country, you don't have that. Yeah. So you do have to opt out to use your
vehicle.
Car.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I will say that 5G. I don't know, as I noticed a difference on 5G really than I did 4G.
I thought that like, what was it, 4G LTE? I thought that was like the best internet. I can't say if I've noticed a difference.
I don't think I've noticed a difference between 5G either. I mean, there was a massive difference between 3 and 4 for sure.
I did read a speculation saying that somebody thought that the whole end goal with constantly improving and going from like 3G to 4G to 5G, they think that the end goal is to put like all cell phone and Wi-Fi as one.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of having like Wi-Fi and a cellular.
Yes.
So I thought that was interesting. Not that I think it's like a weird thing. I would like to pay my bill.
It will be a bundling thing. And then it'll probably also piggyback on top of electric companies.
Absolutely.
Someday.
Yeah.
We all bundle. That's what it's going to be like.
It's just going to be like, oh, actually, instead of paying your bill, we're just going to go ahead and deduct that from your paycheck.
Yes, you don't get a choice.
Yeah.
No choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. I was going to say something, but I won't.
Okay.
But yeah.
I don't know. Thought it was a good episode. I feel like it's longer than I anticipated it being.
Good talking points. Good talking points. Next time we'll just chit-chat. Because it'll be before my birthday.
Your birthday.
My birthday.
Honestly, that'll be such a good brain break, too. You don't have to think of an episode.
That's true. You know, if we do it on the right day at the right time, I may be able to have some drinks while we do it.
Oh, okay. We could do that.
I don't know. We'll have to look at the calendar and figure it out.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off there.
Okay.
Cool. That wraps up today's episode. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Patreon.
Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, give us a thumbs up on YouTube, and hit that notification bell so you can get an alert every time an episode drops. So, tap that app.
We'll see you next week, but in the meantime,
stay strange, my friend.